Hi, everyone. Welcome to Succession Planning Reimagined from Annual Task to Strategic Process. I'm Catherine Germinario, Account Manager here at Orgvue. Before joining Orgvue, I spent years helping organizations build and evolve their succession and leadership development strategies. So this topic is near and dear to me. And I'm thrilled to be joined by Jenny Manthei, one of our solutions consultants, who brings deep hands-on expertise in how the succession planning capabilities work in Orgvue and come to life in the platform. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So succession planning is one of those processes that we all know matters, but the way most organizations approach it just hasn't kept pace with how quickly work is changing. In the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to explore some more practical and dynamic ways to think about succession, a way that helps you reduce risk, spot exposure, and strengthen leadership continuity across the organization. Before we get into the nitty gritty, let's ground ourselves in why we're here and honestly why Orgvue even exists. At its core, it's about helping organizations navigate transformation and change more effectively. As the saying goes, the only constant in life is change. But even with change happening all around us, organizations and the people in them still struggle to manage it well. Right now, 7 in 10 organizations are in the middle of a major change, and more than 90% of those are going through a formal transformation initiative. It doesn't stop there, though. Three-quarters expect another wave of change just around the corner. But here's the real kicker is about 70% of these initiatives will fail. And those failures aren't small. They create long-term disruption, risk, and misalignment across the business. So the question becomes, how do we get better at managing and planning for constant change? All of this volatility should make succession planning a priority. But the truth is, the process most organizations rely on simply is not built for today's pace of change. Let's be honest, in most organizations, if a succession plan exists at all, it usually looks something like this: a spreadsheet that lives in someone's inbox, decisions driven mostly by manager opinion, focus limited to the most senior roles, and a process that gets pulled together once a year at best. And that kind of approach gives you a snapshot, sure, but it doesn't give you a strategic view. It doesn't help you respond to change. And let's be real, it usually gives everyone a headache. To manage transformation effectively, succession planning needs to be a system that builds leadership continuity, not a collection of spreadsheets. With evolving markets, strategies, and designs, leadership expectations are evolving too. And when expectations change, we have to change the way that we plan for succession. Doing this doesn't just make the process less painful, but as you can see on screen from this quote from McKinsey, it helps organizations build resilience and significantly improve their ability to withstand disruption. And when we build a system for leadership continuity, we can lower that 70%. So to do so, we can view succession through two complementary lenses that we'll talk through today. The first is positions. So which roles are critical to executing our business strategies? And the second is people. So who in the organization has the skills, potential, and readiness to step into those roles and drive results? And we need to continuously recalibrate these lenses as markets shift and strategies evolve because our organizations will be changing alongside them. First, let's talk about the positions lens. The positions lens is about identifying the positions that drive the business forward, especially during transformation. These critical lenses are not always executive level roles. Critical roles are those that drive key customer or revenue operations. They require some scarce knowledge or skill sets, or maybe they connect large parts of the organization. In other words, they're mission critical. When these critical roles don't have a successor, that's risk. Strategic succession starts by identifying these roles across the organization and not just doing it once, but again, when business strategies change and people adopt new ways of working, role criticality changes. So organizations should revisit this regularly.